Before the election and after the election, I made some videos addressed specifically to book talk girlies. Those videos were a warning like, hey ladies, did y'all know that Project 2025 mentions your hobby specifically? It's very early on. It's a little hot in here. Okay, it's very early on. I think it's like page 9 or something. They want to make romance novels illegal to possess. And not only that, but they want to make it a crime punishable by time in prison, hefty fines, and being added to the sex offender registry. To write spicy books, to narrate spicy books, to sell them, or to be a librarian who checks them out to people. I mean, of course, they also want to make it illegal to write or produce porn or to possess it. Right, like obviously they want to make those websites and make OF illegal, and folks who work in that industry, they want to put them in prison, including conservatives' favorite squirrel daddy. But in those videos, I got a lot of pushback. Especially when I reposted it to YouTube, people were like, you're fear-mongering, Angela. That's not going to happen. Project 2025 is not going to happen. And then folks were like, no, they'll never come. That's just ridiculous. That's so extreme. Like maybe they'll do other things like deport illegals. Maybe they'll do other things like limit access to birth control, but they're not going to come for spicy romance novels. They're not going to make me, Midwestern housewife, they're not going to make me a sex offender. And a lot of people in those comments were like, no. Trump he told all of us he's not going to enact Project 2025. Okay, well now y'all have egg on your face because it's the official policy of this administration, and we have watched them whip out at a frantic pace executive order after executive order that is directly from Project 2025. We have seen architects of Project 2025 put in influential positions, and one is currently being blocked by our Democratic senators and their filibuster. Thank you. Shout out to my senators, Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden. Ron Wyden had the morning filibuster shift on the floor of the Senate. Thank you. We know that Project 2025 is now the rule of the land. And boy, all you ladies who love your AO3, your Wattpad, we're not just talking your Sierra Simone or your, what's her name, Ruby Dixon, Ice Planet Barbarians. I mean, we're obviously talking Lights Out, but we're also talking Allie Hazelwood novels. We're also talking ACOTAR. Do you want Allie Hazelwood to be a registered sex offender and spend 10 years in prison? And again, if you think like, Angela, this is not happening, that this is a bridge too far, they're not going to do it. Oh, just wait a second, watch this.
There is a bill in front of the state Senate of Oklahoma that would make open door romance a felony. A felony. My name is Dawn Dougal and I'm a romance author. And normally when you see my face, I tell you a joke or I make you laugh or we talk about books, but today I'm going to talk about something serious. I'm actually going to put on my little journalist hat to talk to you about something that will affect every romance reader in the United States, and it is Oklahoma Senate Bill 593. Senate Bill 593 is written and presented by Dusty Devers, this guy. He is a Republican. He's been a state senator since 2023, and he is a Baptist preacher. First part of the bill goes after child pornographers.
That's good.
And wants to eliminate trafficking. Great. Absolutely. We can all agree that's a bad thing. The problem is with the other stuff that's been stuck in this bill to go after quote unquote obscene materials. And according to the bill, obscene is the depiction in any form or medium that appeals to the prurient interest in sex as determined by the average person, depicts or represents explicit conduct in an offensive way, and a reasonable person would find the material lacks serious literary, artistic, educational, political, or scientific value.
Obviously, go watch Dawn's whole video, but let's talk about that portion of it for a second. You're thinking this is a state bill in Oklahoma. How could it possibly impact everybody in the nation? This is a test case. They use cases like this in conservative states to set a precedent and do kind of like a trial run for how to roll out their programs nationwide. I just want to ask you, what do you think the definition of prurient is from a repressed Baptist preacher versus you or me? These are the same group of folks who want to do away with no-fault divorce and think that sex toys are immoral, who believe in wifely submission. You want them deciding what you can and cannot read. I mean, it's really unfortunate, personally for our family, because my husband and my kids' tribe is in Oklahoma, and one of my kids was looking at doing an internship with the tribe. They have a lot of really cool internships in her field of study and really proactively encourage education and higher education for tribal members. But there is no fucking way She, as a adult woman, is going to go to the state of Oklahoma. It is no longer a safe space for women. So she'll be looking at an internship elsewhere. But that's what makes the state of Oklahoma so ripe for the picking when it comes to all of these repressive Christo-fascist laws that they want to roll out. And if you think the law is bad, wait and hear what Dawn says about the punishments.
This bill passes, just about anybody in
Men.
Oklahoma could bring a civil action against someone who
Women.
produces this material, and if found guilty, it's a felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison and $100,000 per violation. So if you have many books out there and somebody takes issue with it, you could be fined and sentenced for every single book you have, not just overall. This isn't just authors. This would be narrators. It would also be anyone who offers to sell these materials, like book websites. Now you may be wondering, well, Dawn, I don't live in Oklahoma. How does this affect me?
Okay, then Dawn gets into what I was talking about, how this is a test case. But yeah, $100,000 per offense. So your favorite romantasy author could be sentenced to 10, 20, 100 years in prison and stripped of all of her earnings. And again, Project 2025 expressly includes librarians. This is an attack on libraries. And thank God we know that librarians, if you can count on anybody in this society to protect democracy, protect freedom of speech, freedom of access, it's going to be librarians, which is why a Christo-fascist national state wants to come for librarians and imprison them. But I really want all of y'all Trumper book talk girlies, because there's a lot of y'all. Y'all have been very defensive since the election. You've been real giddy about folks who made their red list of authors that supported Trump and saying, like, I'm not going to buy from those authors. You decided to flip that on its head and say, great, here's a list of authors that I want to make a special point of buying their books because they support Trump. Why don't you go look at how many authors on that list write romance? Because any romance novel that does not have a fade to black, a closed door way of describing the relationship, it could be subject to laws like these. Project 2025 wants to make it illegal for you to possess or read any of these materials, including AO3. I saw a bunch of conservative women being like, I'm going to download everything from AO3 before they get rid of the website. As if like you can say, okay, AO3 is going to get taken down and the folks who run it, they are going to go to jail. I mean, how many of y'all have written stories and put them up there or put them on Wattpad? Because now suddenly that makes you a felon. But under Project 2025, you downloading and possessing them, that will also be a crime. Every book on your bookshelf will also be a crime. Is this what you wanted when you voted to deport brown people and voted for cheaper eggs, which good luck even finding eggs on the grocery store shelves right now? Is this really the America that you envisioned? Donald Trump is a liar. He lied to y'all and said he was not familiar with Project 2025. He didn't endorse it. He wasn't going to implement anything from it. And y'all believed him. How much evidence will it take? What percentage of Project 2025 being rolled out? How many of the authors and architects do you need to see installed in government? This has been their intention all along. They lied to you to get your vote. How long are you going to support a man who lied to you, who deceived you, who wants to take away the things that you enjoy? Put your favorite authors in jail and maybe put you in jail. And the way these laws are being written, do you have a toxic ex? Are you in an abusive relationship? Is your mother-in-law manipulative and vindictive? All of those people could turn you in and they might get a bounty for doing so. They would all be able to bring suits against you that would result in felony charges. Is this the America that you wanted? Is this how you want to live your life? Deprived of the things you enjoy, fearful of your neighbors, your family members, threatened with prison for reading books.